today, an amazing statistician, a consultant advisor, and also proprietor of BioStead, Dr. Dheeraj Kalra is a public health dentist. He completed his master's from the College of Dental Sciences, Davangere, and is right now doing his PhD in clinical research. He holds a reader's post and is currently working as an in charge of the department. Also appointed at the panel of IMETT for research methodology. After an amazing session on a sampling and sample size on day one, we cannot wait to hear you, sir, on today. And I would like to request Dr. Kalra to take over to the the third lecture for today. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So I think people are a little bit scared of listening to so many types of statistical tests we have. So don't be scared. It's very simple. Okay. Vineet sir has taken a very good effort to get you all together to learn statistics. He is an excellent speaker and he has explained it very nicely about parametric, non-parametric, paired, unpaired, with a lot of good examples. So my session here begins with basically research and use of computers. Okay, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay, so I'll start my screen share. Okay, so now from good morning, it has become good afternoon. We are running a little bit late, but yes, I'll not cut short any part. I'll try to cover everything, whatever I know. So research and technology is the topic. So we call it as computer assistance and data analysis. So how do we use computers for applying all these tests which we have listened just now? Okay, so the basic thing is I want some interaction from you all. What is this? Can anyone tell me? You can open your mic and you can speak. Anyone? Any guys, boys? What is this?
Cockpit, sir.
Which plane? Can you tell me? At least guess. Is it Airbus or Boeing? These are the two major manufacturing leaders in the market. Okay, fine. No issues if you don't know. This one. Is there a difference between first and second?
Yes, sir, definitely.
Definitely. So which one looks more complex, more computerized, more automated?
The second one.
The second one. Okay, this looks more manual. There's a joystick, there's a throttle, engine throttle, there are lot many buttons. It looks more manual. This one looks more computerized. You can have this in-flight radar, you can have this camera which is on the tail, you have these radar systems, you have these altimeter, everything. You don't have a throttle, you just have to put the value in the software, in the computer. So it will automatically throttle at that speed. Okay. You don't have that huge joystick. It's just small joystick, like very small one. This is the autopilot button. With just one push of this button, this plane will take off automatically, go on a highway. Highway is the air highway, the path which we have, altitude, speed, everything. It will automatically land at the destination, whatever you have put in. So it looks more computerized. This is Airbus and the first one was Boeing. Okay. What is this? It's the cockpit of a racing car with a lot of nitrogen boosters, gear shifters, and speed controllers and everything. What is this? I think everyone can appreciate. What is this? It's a very basic car. Maybe Maruti Suzuki Wagon-R. It cannot fly. It cannot even have speed more than, I think, 120 or 140. It will start shaking. Okay. Why I'm showing all this? All these are your softwares, your programs. So this could be compared to an Excel sheet, the basic one, wherein we can have few tests which we can run inside. This could be something better over an Excel sheet. This is a fully automated one called as Airbus. But here in the software language, we'll say this can be compared to EpiInfo. This could be SPSS, wherein you have manual controls and whatever you give the command, it will do only that. It will not run by itself. Am I clear? Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
fine. So we'll just see what are the basics, how to do data entry and how to operate an Excel sheet. So any of you have seen an Excel sheet ever in life? Anyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Are we scared of operating on an Excel sheet, or we are more comfortable on a Word document?
So comfortable on a Word document.
Comfortable on a Word document, yes, because it has a blank thing. We can make a table, we can insert a figure, we can write text, whatever. But Excel sheet looks very complex to me. Okay, so we can open an Excel sheet from here. If you are using an old system, you can have this start menu, you can go to programs, office, and then Microsoft Excel you can open from here. Or if you are having a latest version of Windows, maybe 7, 8.1 or 10, you can just do a right click on the desktop. You can have this new and then an Excel sheet here, and then you can open directly. So how this Excel sheet looks like, this is the old format. This is the new one which we have right now. So just see the nomenclature. This entire, every box is called as a cell. This horizontal component is called as a row, and the vertical entity is called as column. So these are the tabs, buttons on the top: home, insert, page layout, formula, all these things. So this looks similar to the Word document if you have ever operated. So you can change the font style, font size. You can increase, decrease the indent. You can have bold, italics, underline. You can have the box. You can color the background. You can color the text. You can align it center, left indent, right indent, all these things. Okay. So this is something similar to a Word document. Next is when you have this insert button. So this is very important because I'll be giving you a live demo on this, how to make charts and graphs for your study. In case you are planning a study, you will present your data. I think yesterday's session was there. Presentation of data wherein you had seen various types of bars, charts, line diagrams, scatter plot, pie chart, all those things. Okay. Next will be your page layout. If you want to take a printout of this Excel sheet, you can set your page to size A3, A4, portrait mode, landscape mode. You can set a margin. So all these things are available. In the formula, we'll see in the live demo more functions and statistical formulae, how to go in for a t-test or ANOVA in the Excel sheet. That's very basic. It would be like Wagoner, it cannot fly. So it will not generate that kind of table which a software would generate for. Fine. So we have these various types of study designs. Can anyone open your mic and just tell me what are the types of studies we have in epidemiology? This was the third year Viva question also, a favorite question of all public health people. Can anyone tell me how do you classify epidemiological studies?
So we have observational and experimental.
Exactly.
In observational, we have descriptive and analytical studies.
Exactly. So I'll just go to the basics. And suppose you have done a study, you have done a descriptive study. So suppose I have done a survey. Okay, this survey is just an example, nothing to do with it. So suppose I run a survey to check the knowledge, attitude, practice regarding HIV, how people are reluctant or how they are familiar or they have a good knowledge, attitude and practice regarding a known HIV patient to treat them among second year, third year, fourth year and interns in a dental college. So what I will do, I'll frame a questionnaire. That questionnaire, I think the session was over, questionnaire designing. So demographic details will be asked in part 1. And the next part will start up with the questions based on knowledge, attitude and practice. So this is just a sample questionnaire. So I have asked here, which year are you studying in and whether the person is a male or a female. And then the actual questions start. Am I clear with this? So once you are making the Excel sheet out of this data, so suppose you roll out these forms. This is a physical form. Nowadays we use Google Forms because of the pandemic and we are going virtually. So that will generate an Excel sheet by itself. But suppose if I give out this physical form, I'll get suppose 1000 forms answered by people. So I'll serially number them, and then I'll start making the data sheet, the Excel sheet of this data. Okay. So I'll code male is 1, female is 2. And the class of the study is 1, 2, 3 again. Then again the options for every question. So I'll rename this as 1 and 2. This can be 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see my pointer on the slide. So this can be 1 and 2. Okay. So I'll go as numerical as possible. It has nothing to do with the mean, standard deviation, nothing. I'll not do mean, standard deviation for these responses. Why are we going numerical? To reduce the typing errors. Because if we type capital A and small a, SPSS software will take it as different frequencies. Just to avoid that. So consult your statistician, what he or she is using, which software. Is it AppInfo or other SAS or SPSS or any other Medcal, GraphPad? Many softwares are there in the market. So which one he or she uses, accordingly you have to design your Excel sheet. So this you can see gender. So I know that this is 1 is male, 2 could be female. This is option A, this is option B, this is option C for this particular question. This also helps to blind your statistician. He does not know or she does not know whether gender male is 1 or female is 1. So you are blinding the analysis part. If the statistician is a dental person and he or she is well versed that material A is better than material B, तो आपके results biased हो सकते हैं. होते नहीं generally because all these things are software generated. We don't apply our brains while operating these. But yes, just as a protocol for tertiary blinding, triple level of blinding, we can blind our statistician by doing so. Am I clear with this? Is it going very heavy? Any responses?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, it's very basic now. Okay, we'll see thoda. So here in this sheet, what I have done, Q1, Q2, this is question 1, question 2, question. I can also type in the keywords of the question and make an Excel sheet so that when the data comes as a result, output, so those keywords will be there. So I don't have to sit back and see question 1 kya tha, then I'll decode it. Question 2 kya tha, fir I am again typing that. So that saves my effort and time. Am I clear? Fine. Now, next type of study. So suppose I'm doing a cross-sectional clinical study. So I'm asking people what is your age, gender, frequency of brushing, and I'm doing a clinical examination for GI and PI. I think everyone is aware, gingival index and
Plaque index, sir.
plaque index or periodontal index. PLI or PI. Fine. Okay. We'll not go in details. Okay. So this is age group. I can make a group. So 20 to 30, 31 to 40, 41 to 50. I can make age group and I can code it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Gender again, male, female can be coded. Frequency of brushing is a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, whatever is the brushing frequency. And then these are the decimal. This is numerical continuous variable. Okay. Now, as a general rule, we keep our independent variables on the left side of the sheet and the dependent or the outcome variables on the right side of the sheet. Am I clear? This will be helpful if some of you are pursuing post-graduation, MDS. So remember this point. You'll remember me there. So left side, you have to keep the independent variables. Right side, you have to keep the dependent or the outcome variables. Am I clear? As a general rule. Okay. Now next. Suppose, now can you appreciate what are the independent variables in this and the outcome variable in the sheet shown on the slide? Can anyone open your mic and ask, respond?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what are the independent variables here? And what is the outcome variable? Left and right, simple. So total anxiety score could be outcome variable. Age can influence this outcome. Gender can influence this outcome. Socioeconomic status can influence this outcome. Frequency of visits can influence this outcome. So all these C to G could be called as independent variables. Past experience also could be an influencer, independent variable. And all these could be your outcome variable, 6A, 6B and total score. Fine. Next is case control study. Everyone is aware, analytical case control. What do we do in case control study? Can anyone tell me quickly? Case control. How do we start with?
So in a case control study, the disease has already occurred,
Yes.
and we go in the past and we see for the cause.
Exactly. Thank you. So we have cases, people with the disease. We have controls, people without the disease. We go back in time. Actually, this should be left side, back in time. So we go and explore what was the exposure or factor which has caused the disease. So there could be an exposure, there could not be an exposure in both the groups. So how do we do this? So what is the deciding column? Can anyone tell me? Can the same person open your mic and tell me? So which is a case and which is a control in this sheet? Patient number 1 is a case or a control? Patient number 2 is a case or a control?
So patient number 1 is the case.
Yeah, so if
the
this
lung
is yes,
cancer.
yes,
Okay.
exactly.
And
If this
two
is yes
no.
and this is no, so this could be a control. Exactly. Excellent. So after this, we do have a 2 by 2 table. We can do odds ratio. Next. So cohort study. We start with people having similar habits. So suppose we start with people with smoking habit. Over long time perspective, we see development of the disease or we see no development of the disease in both the groups. Now tell me, which is the deciding column, whether a person is a cohort or a control? People with similar habits. So which is the deciding column? Column C. So if habit is there, maybe 1. Habit is not there, maybe 2. So I have coded this sheet. This is the deciding column for a cohort study, whether a person is a cohort or a control. Am I clear? Am I clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So after this, we can do again a 2 by 2 table, relative risk, attributable risk, population attributable risk, many other statistics we can do, likelihood ratio, risk assessment, whatever. Fine. Next, RCT. Now, for a dental population, I always say RCT does not mean root canal treatment. It's randomized clinical trial. Okay, fine. So as Vinit sir just explained, you have suppose one group and you are doing before after. So this is one group. You have before and you have after. Which test are we going to apply? Before,
Yes.
after?
AT
test. Exactly.
AT test.
If we plan to go for a parametric comparison. Now there are golden rules to follow for a parametric. There are 3 golden rules. So your data should be not skewed. That means it should follow a normal curve. Your sample size should be good enough, but t-test can work with small sample also. That is not a problem. And you should have a continuous numerical variable. That means your decimal data should be there. So blood sugar level can be 121.5, 120.2. So if your data is continuous numerical, you can go for this, or a scale data as sir had showed on the slide. So suppose I want to make an Excel sheet out of this data, before data and after data. My Excel sheet would look like this. Now again, as a golden rule, you can write this in your notebooks if you are making notes out of these lectures. So first thing I told, left side should be independent variables, right side should be dependent variables. Now I'm again repeating one more rule. Your follow-up should go on the right hand side. So suppose this is baseline, this is 1 hour. If I want to add 2 hour data, I will write here in column C. 3 hour data, I'll write here in column D. So always time follow-up should go to the right hand side. Just remember, this is a golden rule. This will be helpful in your PG also or in your studies. Now suppose I am working with 2 groups. I have group 1 and group 2. Which test can I go for? For intergroup comparison. 2 samples, 2 groups which are independent of each other, which are not pairs of each other, is called unpaired t-test. Exactly. So suppose group 1 patient comes first and finishes the protocol. Next is again group 1. Now group 2 patient comes next and finishes the protocol. I cannot wait if group 1 pura finish hoega, then I can start with group 2. It's a parallel study. Group 1 and group 2 will go parallelly in each other. Am I clear? So you may have data from group 1, group 2 at random. So 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, then you may have 2, 2, 2, 2. So as and when the patient's data is finished, you will start making the Excel sheet. So here again, the third golden rule for making Excel sheet. please write groups one below the other, not besides the other. Or you can make two different Excel sheets if you are comfortable. Excel sheet 1 for group 1, Excel sheet 2 for group 2. Or if you are making one single, just write one below the other. Why all this is important, I'll tell you when I'm giving the software demo. Okay. So suppose we are combining this before, after and group 1, group 2 together. How my sheet will look like? This. So groups are one below the other, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, baseline, 1 hour and follow-ups. Am I clear? Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fine. Next, we do common mistakes while making the data entry on the Excel sheet. So we keep on typing and we assume कि वो next column में जा रहा है, but it does not go in the next column. If I drag the next column, it looks empty. So this is one of the mistake. Second mistake, if I'm asking people whether you belong to dental or medical, I can just assign this as number 1 and number 2, and I can use one column only to enter the data, not two columns. Otherwise, what I'll do, dental यहाँ पे 1 लिखूंगा, medical यहाँ पे 1 लिखूंगा, फिर dental यहाँ पे 1 लिखूंगा. That doesn't make sense. You have to code the data and utilize only one column for one type of data. Here, age, you can write here in brackets years. Then you need not write 23 years, 45 years. It consumes a lot of time. Just write 23, 45, 42. In gender, again, male, female, or 1, 2, 1, 2, you can write. So this is your second mistake. Third mistake is you are utilizing more than one row for the headings. Heading should always go in only single row, not multiple rows. Again, this is important because your software will ask whether the first row is heading. You will say okay, and second row onwards, it will assume that you are starting with your patient's data. Now, what will happen if I upload this in the software? It will give that question 1, this is blank. Question 2, this is blank. Question 3, this is blank, because it has assumed that the second row is patient number 1. Am I clear? Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes. The third mistake is you are alphabetically writing. Write it numerically. So better that you make this 1, 1, 2, 2, 1. Okay, fine. Now, when we say our students code the data sheet and then give it to us, this was a nightmare done by one of my teachers. So can you see? Is it a nightmare for me? Yes. मेरे को समझ नहीं आ रहा था कि इसने किया क्या. He or she could have written the data directly as numerical in only a single column. What is done? 1, 1, 1, 1. Isko yes, usko yes. Not needed. Okay. Next one. Can you appreciate writing will differ when you are doing it, when you are typing it actually. So curved in small and curved in large, caps lock. It will take as different entities. Also, can anyone appreciate any further mistakes on this Excel sheet?
More than 2 rows for heading.
Exactly. More than 2 rows. Again, gender spelling. Then you have 20 years, you are wasting time. Then you have this space 24 years and no space with 20 years and 20 years. Again, it will take us different. Now, if you are writing years here, we cannot do a mean of the years because it is taking as a categorical data. It's a, okay, fine. Next is 15 to 18. There are hidden rows. A say D, there are hidden columns. So you will not see in the Excel sheet, but your software will pick up all these and will analyze the additional data which is there inside. You are utilizing 4 rows for one patient, 3 rows for one patient. So totally in this Excel sheet, the software will take 22 cases, but actually there were only 4 patients, 4 cases. Am I clear? MM, you are wasting time. You have written here also in MM, you are writing again MM. Somewhere you will give space, somewhere you will not give space. Somewhere MM becomes caps lock, somewhere it remains small. So all these will be a problem while analysis. So your statistician will have to spend lot of time in correcting such kind of sheets, which will increase the expense cost of the analysis, because statisticians usually calculate the cost for hourly basis. So if I require 3 hours for one analysis, I may charge X amount. If I require 10 hours for analysis, I may charge some X amount. So it's on hourly basis. So don't waste the time of yourself and your statistician because your cost will increase. So this will be all beneficial for you all in future also. Right now, you may do a study, you may not do a study. Now, while typing, you may additionally hit some keys on your keyboard and your age becomes 233, 333. When the results come, the mean age of the subjects was 200 years plus minus 50 years. Now you fight with your statistician, sir 200 साल कौन जिंदा रहता है? बेटा आपका तो ये respondent number 4 जिंदा था, respondent number 12 भी 333 years तक जिंदा था. So how this happened? Because we are hitting extra keys, because we don't pay attention while doing data entry. We do data entry when we are tired at night, when we don't have any other productive work. We think that, chalo, let's utilize our time for this non-productive work. But this is not a non-productive work. This is also equally important as designing a protocol, as collecting your data, as interpreting your data. So this is also a crucial step in your data entry. Am I clear? Am I clear?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
सब लोग को भूख लगी, I think people are sleepy or tired or whatever. You can have, snacks or tea or coffee. You can order in between, no problem. I'm not seeing anyone. My video is off. So I'll just give you a live demo of the basic Excel sheet, for which I'll just share my entire screen now. Okay. So are you able to see?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there's a folder here. So I think yesterday, the organizers, yesterday data presentation was over.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there are certain graphs which we can make. Okay. So I'll just give you a demo for graphs, how to make graphs for on your Excel sheet. Fine. So suppose this is group 1 data. This is group 2 data. Okay. And this is P1, P2. This can be time interval. This can be, sections or whatever. Fine. So I'll just select this data with the left click of my mouse. I go to insert. I go to column, the first column, and this is my bar chart ready. Now to beautify this for a conference presentation or for a publication, I cannot submit it as it is. I need to have certain labels for the axis. I need to have a title on the graph. So I can just go to layout, chart title. Above the title, you can write here intergroup comparison of so and so, so and so. You can have data labels on the outside and you can have values with the bars. Next, you can have the axis title. So axis title horizontally, you have space to write now here in the axis title. Vertically, now you have space to write here. What is this unit? This is, kg or micron or whatever. Okay. So this is how your chart is ready. Now, I want to go for a presentation in a conference. I cannot keep on checking 95 hai, 123, and now this is an overlap. So I don't know. I don't want to panic in front of many people. This is again an overlap. So what I can do, I can just go to design. I can change my design into a table and chart together. So this is a chart graph. This is a table below with all the values. So I can read from these while presentation and I can show the bars to the people, to my audience. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Am I clear? So I don't have to run to my statistician. Sir, graph बना दो, 2 दिन मेरा abstract submit करना है, मेरा presentation आ रहा है. So do it by yourself. No need to run behind a statistician for this small work. Statisticians are few in number in the country and they are very busy people. So people will not pick your calls for this small work. Am I clear? Next, I want to show how many males and females were there in the study. So I just select this data, insert pie, and my pie chart is ready. Again, I can beautify, I can change the layout, I can do data labels in the center, how many males and females, I can do a title. I don't like this format. I just change my colors. I make it 3D or something of that sort, black background. I change the chart type. I want a split type of 3D. So I do this. I don't like this color. I change the color. So all this is possible. Am I clear? Line. So whenever you are doing time follow-up, before, after, or multiple times follow-up, so your x-axis can become time. So here it has automatically taken that before, after. So x-axis becomes before, after, T1, T2, visit 1, visit 2, whatever is your time interval. So always use a line for follow-up data. Am I clear? Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It is visible. Everything is clear. I'm just trying to, expand, zoom it. So I have a scatter plot. Are you aware of the scatter plot correlation? So you have two variables which both are numerical. X is also numerical, Y is also numerical. Now we want to find out the relation whether if X increases, what happens to Y? Whether it also increases or it decreases. And hypothetical example for you all. Every 1 hour extra I study, I get 1 more mark in the exam. So hours of study is numerical, marks in the exam are numerical. If I study more, I get more marks hypothetically. होता नहीं है ना ऐसे, इसलिए so I am telling hypothetically. So hypothetically, if the marks increase by hours of study, that means it's a positive correlation. If I do 1 hour extra time pass in my Facebook or WhatsApp, 1 mark in the exam reduces hypothetically. So again, this is a negative correlation. As X increases, Y reduces. So let's see how to make a chart for this. So X and Y, I select the data, I go to this scatter plot. I have this data. Okay. Next, I can just do a right click on any of the dot, add a trend line. So it will show me that yes, as X is increasing, Y is increasing. This is school maths. वो किया था ना हमने, slope, intercept, याद है?
Yes, sir.
School
Yes,
में
sir.
होता
Yes,
था.
sir.
Yes, this is something of that sort. Now I can display the equation. So this equation comes. So I can have a regression type of equation. What is regression? Basically, if I know the value of X, here, see the equation, I can predict the value of Y. These are the constants in the equation, 0.7, 0.62, all these are constants in the equation. Now, are you aware of R value, correlation coefficient? So I can again display R square. So this R square comes on the chart. I can do a R value from this. So R means coefficient of correlation, how much they are correlated to each other in a numerical manner. Am I clear with this demo? Am I clear? Done?
Yes, sir.
Understood
Yes,
everything?
sir.
You have various more types of charts and graphs. You can explore them. Just put some hypothetical data and try work with that. The more you play with this, the more better you will become with this. Okay, fine. Now next we'll see how to apply certain formulae on the Excel sheet. So mean, everyone is aware of mean, average. So this is a hypothetical data again. So I want to find mean, standard deviation, median, and many more. We can just have a look. So if I write here equal to, the Excel sheet comes to know that equal to मतलब इसको कोई तो formula apply करना है. So it will start thinking. So now if you don't know what to apply, just go to fx. This is function key. आपको पता नहीं है कि क्या होता है equal to करके क्या करना है. So just write here average and give the command go. It will suggest you you can type, you can go for average like this. So okay. Now it will ask me आपका data कहाँ पे. So this is called as B2. B column में second row is called B2 cell and this end is called B21. So अपना data B2 से B21 है, it has detected already. If not detected, I can just drag the left click of my mouse. It will detect this B2 to B21 and I put OK. The mean is calculated. Manually कैसे करते हैं? This plus this plus this plus this plus this, all this divided by 20 is your mean formula. Am I clear? You sum up all the observations, divide by number of observations is your mean. But Excel sheet does it in a single click. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Now I want to find the average for this column C. What can I do? Should I repeat the step again? No, I'll just drag this. So just see, if this is a mota plus, if I go to the right bottom, the plus sign becomes narrow black plus. I just have to drag it. So it has done the mean for this. And if I keep on dragging for all the columns, it has done the mean for this. Wherever there was a valid data, it will do the mean for this. Am I clear? Wherever there is no data, it will leave it as an error, as a formula. Am I clear? Now, I'll just erase this. Okay. Now I want to do standard deviation. Standard deviation is reported with mean always. So equal to. Now I don't know what is standard deviation. If I have used it frequently, recently, it will come up in this drop box. So stdev, it has detected the data from B2 to B22, but B22 is blank. It was the mean which I just erased. So I just have to change this to B21 and okay. So this is the standard deviation. Again, we can drag and it will calculate the standard deviations for all the data. Am I clear? I just erase this.
Yes, sir.
Now median. So I'll just again write equal to, if I have used it, it will show up here. Yes, it is done, median. Now again, I have to change B23, my data is from B2 to B21. I press OK and I drag, it becomes median, it calculates median for all. So again, I'll erase this. Now I want to sum up this plus this, 99 plus this sum value. Okay, what I'll do, I'll write here is equal to, now I don't know sum ko kya bolte hain. So I'll ask the Excel sheet कि sum को क्या बोलते हैं. So I want sum. Go. So it is suggesting sum को sum ही बोलते हैं. Okay. Now it is detecting the data from A2 to C2. Now tell me, is it correct? A2 to C2 is my data. I want to add.
No, sir. It should be from B2 to C2.
Exactly. So just change this letter B, type it, or if you don't want to type, just erase this entire thing and drag your left click. It will detect B2 to C2. Okay. Now, should I repeat this step for the next row, next row, next row? No. I'll just drag. See, in a click, it has calculated all the sums. So it can do sum, division, subtraction, multiplication, square, square root. All these things, formulae can be worked on the Excel sheet. Am I clear? Am I clear?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Exactly. Fine. So now we'll see how to apply a t-test. I want to compare. This is group 1 data. This is group 2 data. Both are independent of each other. So which test should we go for? Both are not pairs of each other.
Paired t-test.
Unpaired t-test. Exactly. So I'll go to this formula, more functions, statistical, and then I'll drop down. I'll see the t-test here. Now it is asking me where is your group 1 data, array 1. So this is your group 1 data. Array 2, I click here and I just select this data, array 2. Now it is asking me which tail of the test you want. So just now Vineet sir had shown one tailed and two tailed. If I already know there is going to be an increase, so I'll use one tailed, directional hypothesis. If there is non-directional hypothesis, I'll go for two tailed test. Most of the health sciences data will. So let's assume we have a non-directional hypothesis. If I click here tail, it is telling me one tailed karna hai to one likho, two tailed karna hai to two likho. So what we write here? What should we write here? One or two? Non-directional hypothesis. Two tailed. Yes. So I write two. Now it is next is asking me type. Which type of test you want to do? Paired karna hai to one likho. Unpaired करना है, two sample करना है तो two लिखो but equal variance, and two sample unequal variance है तो 3. So variances may not be equal for both the groups. So let's go for 3. Okay. Now it is giving me some weird number. I just have to go and convert this to a number. It is giving me the p-value is 0.000. That means it is a very highly significant difference obtained between group 1 and group 2. Now, did you appreciate that there is no table generated? It's only p-value. I don't know what is mean of data 1, mean of group 1, mean of group 2, standard deviation of group 1, standard deviation of group 2. What is the t value? I just know the p-value. So ideally, a t table should contain all this information, which is not generated in the Excel sheet because it is a Wagoner. It is not. Do I come to this point? Do you understand now? Do you understand now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'll just close this. Okay. So we can also do ANOVA. We can do few more tests. Okay. Like we had done R value. So it was a type of correlation. Okay. So now we'll just see. I'll just go back to the PPT. Now next is overview of SPSS. I'll just give you in short demo. Don't worry. It's not a PG level thing. It's very basic level. So SPSS, in most of the articles, if you go through, you will find that data was analyzed using SPSS software version something something. Okay, so SPSS stands for Statistical Package for Social Sciences. It's a software now owned by IBM, Lenovo, Motorola. All these three are the brands of the same company. Earlier, it was an independent company, and they purchased this software from this company and renamed it as PASW. Okay. Now statisticians like us did not know कि नाम change हो गया है, नाम में क्या रखा है हम लोग सोचते हैं, but इसके केस में नाम में बहुत कुछ रखा है. So we did not know that the name has changed and the company has changed. So people used to search SPSS on the internet and they used to find that web page not found because that company sold away its software to IBM. Now the market of PASW started declining. So IBM thought, yeah, नाम में अब बहुत कुछ रखा है, so let's purchase the name also from that independent company. So they purchased the name in a second agreement, which actually was a heavy cost for that company, which was costlier than the software. सिर्फ नाम purchase करने में उनको double or triple millions of dollars pay करना पड़ा. And then now SPSS is back in the market with the same name, but now IBM owns it. So 22 मैंने slide पे लिखा है, the slide is not updated. So now the version available is 26.0. Okay, when I was doing my PG, it was 17 and people used to use 11 version also. So now it is 26. So why I'm telling all this, you may use it or your statistician may use it sometimes. Okay, now what is the cost of this software? So this screenshot I have taken in 2016. If I have to purchase a software, I'll not go for a base version. So Excel sheet भी कर लेगा काम. Standard professional में भी कुछ limitations होंगे, कुछ test run करेगा, कुछ test run नहीं करेगा. So let's see what is the cost for the premium version of the software. It is $7,820 per user per year in 2016. How much would it be in Indian rupees? Can anyone tell me? In 2016, if you are aware that we all were rich. Why? Because demonetization did not happen till then. हमारे पास black money होता था, सब लोग rich होते थे. उसके बाद हम लोग सब गरीब हो गए. So jokes apart, I'm not against Modi government, but yeah, we were rich. GST नहीं आया तब तक हम octroi और service tax छोटा 2% and 5% भर के खुश हो जाते थे. Now if I have to purchase this software, I'll give 28% GST because it's a luxury item for me now. It's not a basic need. Am I clear? Am I clear? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Am I not talking to the walls in my room?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So this is before the Achhe Din came. This was the cost. And this was the cost in 2016 in Indian rupees. Almost 5.5 lakh. And yesterday I happened to check, it was 7.5 lakhs into 2021 plus 28% GST would cost me around 10 lakh rupees per user per year for a software. So if your statistician asks for 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 rupees, please don't hesitate to pay him or her because there is a lot of investment from our side. We purchase the software. And if we run maybe thousands of theses and mean dissertation data, this will be recovered. Now this will only cost will be recovered apart from the time we spend in front of the laptops, and we don't spend our time with family, and then the wife criticizes us and the child demands love from the parents, whatever. So that is all untold demands and the needs. Fine. So now next I'll give you the live demo for SPSS software. So are you all interested in SPSS software? Seeing the live demo, or should I just skip this?
Yes, sir. we would like
You are interested. Okay, great. So this is the window of the software, which it looks like. Okay. So can you appreciate?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Is the full screen seen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the software window. What is written on the purple part on top? Can you read it? What is written here?
Like SPSS statistics data editor.
Exactly. So there is a data view and there is a variable view. So there are two windows in the software. So let's not go into so much detail. So I have a demo sheet prepared for SPSS. I'll just drag this sheet. You can see this and I drop it in the software. Okay. Now it will ask me, can you read this loudly for everyone? Anyone? This tick mark.
So it says read variable names from the first row of data.
So this was the reason why I'm utilizing only one row for the headings, and from second row the patient data starts. Okay. Now it will create a drop down sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. So where is the data? You can see A1 say R248 and other sheets are blank. A1, 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 A1. So I'll select this. Okay. Now it has pulled my Excel sheet, incorporated the Excel sheet, uploaded it in the software. Am I clear? You can see the Excel sheet now in the SPSS window. Am I clear? Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Now I want to find what was the mean age of these kids. So I go to analyze, descriptive, and then I'll write here age. Okay. So this was the mean age. Can you read 4.37 plus minus 0.868 with the minimum child having 2 years of age and the maximum age of the child was 5 years. Am I clear? Is it visible?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay. Next, I want to find out how many males and females were there. So this sex, how many males and females means frequency. So frequency of this sex, I'll just see. Can any volunteer read for me? What is the result?
Yes, sir.
How many females? How many males? Frequency matlab number of people.
Yes, yes, sir.
So 120 females.
120 females and total of 2 males.
2 males, छोटे males and 2 बड़े 125 बड़े.
हाँ, so 125.
बड़े मेल छोटे मेल कुछ होता नहीं है ना. So that means it's a typing error. So this was purposefully done to make you aware that when you do typing mistakes, it will take up as different entities, different frequencies. So we'll just go back and we'll correct this chota mail to bada mail. 2 places we have. So this is for purposefully done. So don't worry. Now we can rerun this frequencies. Now I think it will correct. Now can you read? Any volunteer?
Yes, sir. Now it is 120 females and 127 males.
Okay, fine. Now I'm happy. Okay, fine. So I'll close this for now. Now I want to check how much was the mean decayed teeth in male versus female. So which test should I go for? Mean number of decayed teeth for male and female. Male is a separate group, female is a separate group. Vinith sir, just give an example. Mean height of male, mean height of female. Which test? Are they related to each other? No, they are different subjects. Tell me, fatafat. Anyone? No answers. I want to compare mean number of decayed teeth in male versus female. Which test should I go for?
Unpaired.
Exactly, unpaired. Male is a
Unpaired teeth.
separate. Yeah, they are not related to each other. So just see how to do. But see the data for decade 0, 4, 16, 0, 0, 7. So does it look skewed? Yes, it is skewed data. It has lot of variation in the data. So I should not ideally go for a t-test, but let's see. Compare means independent sample t-test is unpaired t-test. What I'll do, I'll just write here gender and I'll write here decayed teeth and I'll assign the group as 1 and 2 because I have numerically coded them. And this is my result, how the table looks like. That the male has 3.94 mean decayed teeth. See, the standard deviation is higher than the mean. This means your data is skewed. Skewed मतलब lot of variation in the data. किसी को 0 दांत है खराब, किसी को 16 दांत है खराब. So that is lot of variation in the data. And this is your p-value. This is 0.887 means non-significant p-value. So there is no difference in the mean of decayed teeth for male versus female. So ठीक है, so this was not actually indicated. You cannot do a t-test in such kind of data. You should ideally go for a non-parametric, that is Mann-Whitney U-test. So ठीक है, we have done this, and SPSS did not suggest us that this is a wrong test because it is Boeing. आपने कमांड दिया यहाँ से उड़ो और लंदन लैंड करो, आपको मैन्युअली करना पड़ेगा. बट एयरबस ने अगर बोला, एयरबस में कमांड दिया कि यहाँ से टेक ऑफ करो, लंदन में लैंड करो, so automatically it will cross all the hurdles. It will say you are not going on the correct path. It will land it by itself. So it is not suggesting you anything. It is doing blindly. आपने बोला ठीक है वो कर रहा है, no problem. Okay, next. I want to find out this erosion. You can see this erosion. How many males have erosion present? How many males have absent? How many females have present? How many females have absent? So I can just do a chi-square test for this. Just now Vineet sir told. So chi-square, I can assign gender in one and erosion in the column, and see this, there's a chi-square. I can also do a risk assessment, odds ratio for this data. So I'll see 118 females had no erosion, 124 males had no erosion. Erosion was present in 2 and 3, 2 females and 3 males. This is your p-value. This is your odds ratio, 1.427. Now again, it is not suggesting that your chi-square is not a valid test. Actually, it is not valid when the frequencies of the cells is less than 5. So there is something called as Yates correction. You should go for a Yates correction in the formula, only then the chi-square will be valid. So यहाँ पे उसने suggest नहीं किया कि chi-square मत लो आप, उसने chi-square करके दे दिया चुपचाप से, but नीचे एक warning दे रहा है कि 2 cells have expected frequency less than 5. So that implies that you know what does this mean. Chi-square may not be a valid test for comparison. Now we'll see other features कि और क्या कर सकते हैं हम. So we can go for one-way ANOVA. If I have more than 2 groups, I can go for paired t-test. I can go for independent t-test. I can go for bivariate correlation, that is your R value, which I showed on the Excel sheet. X and Y, as X increases, what happens to Y? I can go for regression. Regression is called prediction. I can go for all the types of non-parametric tests like Mann-Whitney, Kruskal-Wallis ANOVA, Wilcoxon-Signed rank, Friedman test. ये सब नाम होते हैं. I can go for ROC, multiple things I can go for. So this is a complete package, complete software for SPSS. So I'll just close this software without saving any changes. Now we'll see how EpiInfo looks like. Now EpiInfo, I'll not give you a live demo because I have screenshots for that. So EpiInfo was developed by CDC Atlanta. It is a free software. It is like Airbus, automated software. The only problem with EpiInfo is it does not do a paired t-test. So if you want to do before-after comparison, this option is not available. People have written letters to, mails to CDC that please try to include them. And we just get a reply that yes, we are working on it. And this reply I have got since 7 years now. So abhi tak unka hua nahi kaam. So yes, this is one of the limitations. Next is, this is how the EpiInfo window looks like, software window. Here you can do statistical calculations like sample size estimation, which I had covered yesterday. So we can see this if time permits in the Q&A session. This is your classical data analysis window. So just follow the yellow cursor wherever is there in the screenshot. That means I have clicked this. So once I click this classic, this will open up. So here I can import the Excel sheet by clicking on read. So read, it will tell me kahan pe data hai aapka. So I can browse in my system. Again, can a volunteer read this line? Please read this line.
First row contains header information.
Again, the same reason you should not utilize more than one row for the headings. So then I click OK. It will ask me sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, kahan pe data hai. I click sheet 1 and then click OK. So it has read 247 records are there on, ये पुराना है, 2017 में मैंने इस screenshot बनाया था. So it was on the desktop and named in this folder and named as this sheet. Fine. Next, I want to list down. Now you cannot see the Excel sheet as you were seeing in the SPSS window. यहाँ पे आपको blind काम करना पड़ रहा है. Blind करना पड़ रहा है because automatic है, autopilot mode है. Pilot अगर सो भी जाएगा तो वो पीछे काम करते रहेगा. Plane will fly. This is autopilot mode. So if I want to see, I can just go to list वो पूछेगा क्या देखना है आपको, अपने आप ड्रॉप डाउन लिस्ट बन गया, मैंने सब कुछ मार्क कर दिया, ओके, it will show the Excel sheet to me now. So I close this. Next, I want to see frequencies. Now I'll give you the same examples to make you understand how things work here and there. Okay. तो वहां पे हमने किस चीज का फ्रीक्वेंसी किया था? मेल फीमेल? Yes. Do you agree? Everyone, are you there with me? We'll
Yes,
take
sir.
a lunch break. Don't worry. Blood sugar level सबके कम हो रहे हैं, दिमाग सबका दुखना शुरू हो गया. I know. So just see frequencies. मैंने क्लिक किया तो it is asking me drop down list में से कि किस चीज का फ्रीक्वेंसी आपको करना है. तो मैंने मेल फीमेल सेक्स डाल दिया वहां पे. तो it is showing me 120 and 127. It is also giving me short small type of bar chart also. Automated है ना, मैंने पूछा नहीं तो भी कर रहा है. Okay, next. If you know computer language, coding language, what you can do, यहाँ पे FREQ space SEX डाल दिया तो अपने आप वो करेगा. But we all are doctors, अपने को coding language पता नहीं है. We are not computer freak or savvy. So हम लोग को ये सब नहीं पता. But if a person who operates software इतना लिख देगा तो अपने आप ये जनरेट हो जाएगा. Next, what we do next is table. So I need to find out what. Just see. So table. I need to find out gender versus erosion. There we had done chi-square 2x2 table. How many males have erosion present absent? How many females are present absent? तो मैंने वहाँ पे क्या किया था, रोज एंड कॉलम्स में मेल फीमेल डाल दिया एंड इरोजन डाल दिया. मैंने यहाँ पे भी सेम वैसे ही किया एंड आई प्रेस ओके. सो यहाँ पे परसेंटेज भी दे रहा है साथ में, रो परसेंट कॉलम परसेंट. इसका ऑप्शन SPSS में भी था, वी कैन डू अ रो परसेंट कॉलम परसेंट एंड द ग्रैंड परसेंट टोटल परसेंट. बट this is a 2x2 table, 118, 2, 124 and 3. Okay, so which test we have to apply? There I had ticked odds ratio also, so it is giving me odds ratio here, odds ratio 1.42. Now it is also telling me chi-square. Now it is automatically doing Yates correction. जो मैंने आपको बोला था ना, frequency of cell is less than 5/2, उसने सिर्फ हिंट करके दिया था SPSS में, इसने ऑटोमेटिक करेक्शन करके दे दिया. Now there is one more test called Fisher's exact test, which is applicable for a 2x2 table. So we see this 2x2 table, तो उसने Fisher's भी अपने आप से करके. Okay, and it is also suggesting that less than 5 frequency है, so chi-square may not be a valid test. Next, what we see is mean. I'll give you the same example. I want to compare mean of the decayed teeth in male versus female. So what I do, I just click here, mean of decayed teeth, and cross tabulate by what? So I'm cross tabulating by gender. I press OK. So it is giving me that the mean in male is 3.8, female is 3.8, mean in the male is 3.94 with standard deviation calculated with t-test applied. But as you all know that because we had a skewed data, t-test is not applicable here. So let's see how intelligent this EpiInfo is. So it is telling me that Bartley's test for inequality, it has given the value, small p value suggests that variances are not homogeneous, and this is only for this normally distributed data. That means अगर parametric करना है तो आप इसको देखो, नहीं तो it has done Mann-Whitney already. Okay, so it is also giving me the option and the solution, the problem and the solution. कि ये problem है आपके डेटा में, साथ में इसका solution भी है. Why? Because this is Airbus, fully automatic. Okay, next is linear regression. I want to see as age increases, what happens to decayed teeth or DMFT. So I put age here, DMFT here, I press OK. So coefficient nikal gaya. As age increases, what happens to DMFT? So this is called linear regression. So how many of you understood this? So I think many people will be still confused because just looking at one time in the software, you may not be able to learn. And this is a basic workshop, a basic webinar. So it's just to make you sensitize कि ऐसा भी कुछ होता है and how your data is going to be analyzed if you collect such a data and give it to a statistician. So it is not to make you masters in operating the software. It is just to make you understand कि ऐसा भी कुछ होता है in the world. So if you are still confused, I have written here, smart people don't do it alone, call a statistician. So for sample size estimation, for your protocol designing, for sample selection, for analysis of data, for all these things, you would require a consultation of a statistician. So don't hesitate to call a statistician for your research studies. So these are other softwares as I had mentioned already. So there is Medcal, GraphPad, WinPepi, which I am trained for all of these. Now SAS programming, R programming, and Python, these are certain softwares which are preferred by computer coding people. So I plan to take my training further in this. Right now I'm not trained for all these three softwares, the last three. Okay, so any question answer, I think we'll take up in the Q&A session. So there is a disclaimer regarding the softwares which I have demonstrated. So I have not used any of the pirated softwares. These are my purchased fully licensed softwares. So many of you will ask, torrent pe mil jata hai software and all those. So I just give you a warning that they have changed and cracked files. So they may not give you a p-value, which is actually the p-value. They will do wrong calculations in the background. I am doing a study on comparing p-values of pirated softwares versus original software. My article will come next, maybe in 2-3 months. So there we have got a very highly significant difference in the p-values. Key software which is pirated will not give you a genuine p-value. Next, about my consultancy, I think Vineet sir may have introduced. So there's this consultancy which I own is BioStead, and we are planning to give internship for 2 people who will be selected from this workshop. And in general also we give subsidized prices for our students for all the statistical help. Now all 50 participants in this workshop, be it a faculty, be it an intern, be it a PG, have become my student. So as a moral duty and obligation of a teacher towards you, I try to make you understand in the best possible manner I could. But if something is not understood, you can still put up your queries on the email and the phone number which I have mentioned in here. So both the numbers have WhatsApp, both the emails are functional. So you can just drop in a WhatsApp, we can fix a time and we can do a chat, we can talk on phone, or you can drop in your query on either of my emails. I'll be happy to answer. So you can take a screenshot of this. Fine. So I'll give you a warning that all these software operations, don't try it at home for your studies. कि कुछ तो कर लिया, कुछ तो p value निकल गया और कुछ तो लिख दिया. So that is not the case. Take professional help always. So I'll give you an instance. Last week I got a call from North India. I'm not defaming North India, but yes, North India बोलते ही कुछ लोगों के दिमाग में आ जाता है कि सर क्या बोलने वाले, because we know कि how things work there. So I got a call from a very reputed government college, which is run by central government of India, and then that lady has joined in some other government college and now she is having a difficulty in publication. So she is like कि sir publication के लिए भेजा और article reject हो गया, तो can you do statistics for me? मैं बोला of course. So मेरा thesis का ही convert करना है article में. So मैं बोला at the time of your thesis आपने किया होगा ना statistics, तो वही लगाओ. So नहीं sir, क्या हुआ ना कि हमारे कॉलेज के बाहर एक जेरोक्स वाला है. मैं बोला ठीक है, तो उसने हमारे टेबल्स एंड ग्राफ्स बना दिए. ना ठीक है, वो तो कोई भी डीटीपी सेंटर वाला करके देगा ना आपको टेबल्स एंड ग्राफ्स. नहीं सर, उसमें पी वैल्यू भी उसी ने लिख दी. आई वाज लाइक शॉक्ड कि पी वैल्यू बाय अ जेरोक्स पर्सन. मैंने कैसे किया उसने? नहीं, उसने कुछ भी लिख दिया रैंडमली पी वैल्यू. तो थीसिस तो सबमिट हो गया, वो लड़की पास भी हो गई. नाउ शी इज हैविंग अ पब्लिकेशन प्रॉब्लम. So now we have to redo everything. So don't do all these stunts. So these are, fabrication, manipulation, falsification of the data, falsification of your p-values. All this will land you in trouble. Okay. So with this, I think I can conclude. So Vinny sir, should I mention about BioStead and the internship program?